Dear learners, we have discussed conflict management in the previous lecture. We have also discussed reasons, forms and levels of conflict in part 1. Today we will be discussing moral conflict. Why is it important to discuss moral conflict? This is why we will be discussing it in further detail, because when we talk about moral conflict occurs when two groups have radically different ways of thinking or attitude towards human life. One group will be perceived by the other as evil or foolish. This is because an action that one moral order seems perfectly acceptable may be regarded as negative by the other group. Take, for example, the issue of love marriage. We find that traditionalists, people from very traditional society or a very conservative society, would see the issue of love marriage as evil, and they would feel that, if a person goes for love marriage, that particular person is harming their race or religion. And in a lot of societies, we have honor killing because a particular girl has married someone whom she loves, but that particular man does not belong to her caste or to her religious group. The relatives of the girl would kill her because she has gone against the caste or has gone against her religion. So there are cases where honor killings have taken place because a person has gone ahead and opted for love marriage, which is not accepted by a lot of conservative society. So when we talk about moral conflict simply means when two groups have radically different ways of thinking or attitude towards human life. Like I give you an example of a love marriage where in certain conservative society, people even resort to honor killing because they do not accept love marriage. They do not allow a man or a woman to go beyond his or her caste or religious group, and so on and so forth. Likewise, for example, when we talk about moral conflict, when we talk about this very radical opinion of certain groups with regard to morally what is acceptable by them or not, let us take the example of wearing of dresses. For example, Western dresses by women, or freedom of movement or education, or when we talk about how a woman is seen in public with a member of the opposite sex, or how there is public display of affection. All these are various ways by which society or groups may differ from each other, because some group or some society or some very traditional conservative society would have an opinion about how a woman should conduct herself in public, certain ways of dressing for women in public, or how she should move. She should not, be seen with a member of the opposite sex, and so on and so forth. However, in certain society, Western society, women may dress in whatever way they may like. They have freedom of movement. They would not, the society would not mind seeing them with members of the opposite sex, and so on and so forth. So when we talk about moral conflict is when two groups have very radically different opinions about various issues like marriage, issues like how women should dress in public, how there should be freedom of movement or by women, or education of the women. Some society do not prefer women to be highly educated because they feel that if a woman is highly educated, the women may not find a match for her in terms of marriage, or they feel that it is women who have to go get married, and they would be leaving their natal home, they would be leaving their parents' home. So parents do not, in many society, do not prefer their daughters to have education, because they may feel that it is a waste of money and time for their girls to be educated. So when we talk about moral conflict, these are the issues which are radically opposite in terms of groups, would be of groups who have radical opinions about these issues. So these are what we call moral conflict. I have talked about how in Western society there is the freedom of women to wear what they want or do what they want. They can move around at night. They can go clubbing or and so on and so forth. However, in certain very traditional conservative society, or in certain traditional Muslim cultures, all these may not be allowed. Women should not wear anything other than the burqa, or a woman should not be seen in public with the opposite sex, or where women should not be highly educated, and so on and so forth. So this is what we mean by moral conflict. When you have radically opposing ideas about certain issues, then you have what is called moral conflict. So there are certain groups which have clashing conceptions of moral values. So this is what is meant by moral conflict. In many cases, culture has a powerful influence on the moral order. Different cultures develop different ideas about morality. For example, some cultures place great moral emphasis on the family, while others stress the importance of individual autonomy. To take, for example, women with children are easily acceptable and given remarriage in certain societies, whereas till today, widow remarriage is still banned in certain conservative societies. So when we talk about culture, when we talk about the moral order, culture has a powerful influence on the moral order. Different cultures develop different ideas about morality. In certain societies, when a woman becomes pregnant without getting married, when the father is not identified, or when the woman does not want to say the unborn child's father name, even in these cases, there are society which accepts a woman who has not been married but has conceived or has given birth to a child. But however, in certain societies, having a child born out of wedlock, if the child is not, if the woman is not married, and if she has a child without getting married, then it is a taboo in the society. The woman is not acceptable in the society. The child is treated as illegitimate. So the way groups see certain issues in terms of marriage, in terms of the position of women, in terms of how you dress, in terms of how you accept remarriage, widow remarriage, or how you place importance on family or individual autonomy differs from society to society. So when you have these radically opposing opinions of these issues, then this leads to what is called moral conflict, because certain group will have a very set idea about what they believe constitute moral values. When we talk about culture, cultural differences become even more problematic when groups have radically different expectations about what is virtuous in India. I'm giving you the example of India. What is right? How to deal with moral conflicts. So thus culture wars are often driven by moral conflicts. So when we talk about a case like our country India, where there is a lot of minority groups, where there is a lot of conflict in terms of groups which have different religious ideologies, Christian ideology or your Muslim ideology or your Hindu ideology. There is a lot of cultural differences which comes about and which becomes very problematic, because these groups have radically different expectations about what is virtuous in India. For example, when we talk about among the Muslims may, it is not a hard and fast rule, but a Muslim may get married more than once, but among Christians, monogamy or having only one wife or a husband is acceptable. Having more than one wife or husband is not acceptable. So there are a lot of expectations, there are a lot of cultural differences, there are a lot of moral conflicts with regards to the various religious ideologies which are found in India. Then when we talk about moral conflict, what are these features which defines moral conflict, or what are the features of moral conflict which has come about in the society? These are misunderstanding. When we are in a position where we misunderstand each other's, it could be the way the person is looking at you, or the way the person is speaking to you, or because you come from a culture which is very different from your culture, there could be a lot of misunderstanding. So moral conflict takes place because there is a lot of misunderstanding between two groups. Let me give you an example. In Western societies or in Western countries, addressing the elders by their first name, addressing the elders by their name is not considered respectful. However, in a traditional society like India, if you address an elder, or if you address who is senior to you by the first name, it is considered disrespectful. So this is what is called misunderstanding, because you belong to different culture, wherein one does not mind, one does not consider is disrespectful to address a person by the first name, while in the other culture, in a traditional Indian culture, addressing a person by the first name is considered disrespectful. So misunderstanding is one way or one form by which moral conflict can take place, because there is misunderstanding. You are not able to communicate because you differ, or you have different systems of values. Then we have a conflict with regard to things like the opinion or the ideas about killing someone in order to save your own or another's life. In some cases, a person may kill in order to save his or her own life, and it may lead to a lot of conflict, because in majority of the societies, killing others, even though it may be to save your own life or another's life, is completely not acceptable, but it may not be as serious offense in a particular society, while it could be a serious offense in other societies. Another feature of moral conflict is mistrust. What is this mistrust? Mistrust is that where group members tend to develop feelings of mistrust, suspicion, not trusting the other towards the other group. They have a mistrust or suspicion towards the other group, even a sense that the other group poses a danger to their very survival. The group's different conceptions of morality leads to misunderstanding, which in turn contributes to conflict escalation. So misunderstanding is one way by which moral conflict takes place. Another way by which moral conflict takes place is what is called mistrust. When you do not trust the other group, when you do not trust the members of the society, when you are suspicious about the other group or the other members of the society, then it leads to what is called moral conflict. Then Another way by which you can have moral conflict is strained communication. Strain is because of strained communication between parties. The patterns of communication in moral conflicts that consist primarily in personal attacks, denunciation, curses. So when we talk about strained communication, for example, I am sitting in a conference room and I have a meeting with my other colleagues. However, when we are discussing certain issues regarding the working of the department, there could be some personal attacks, or there could be verbal abuse which are aimed at each other. In such cases, there is a lot of communications which are strained, and because of certain personal attacks or verbal abuse, or it could be because you have different opinions with regard to ideologies or social political beliefs, or you have certain issues which you wanted to address in the conference room, but the others does not listen to the issue. So a lot of strained communication may take place, and this is another feature of moral conflict, wherein because of strained communication you have moral conflict. Then another feature of moral conflict is negative stereotyping. People in moral conflicts tend to invidiously categorize and denounce the personalities, intelligence, and social manners of those with whom they disagree. They attribute negative characteristics to those who violate the culture. Groups with radically different conceptions of morality at times feel offended by the actions or words of the other group and denounce those actions or the group as a whole. For example, in certain traditional conservative society, the members of the society, of that conservative society, if they see a woman dressed in a certain way in a Western attire, or when they see that, the woman is showing a lot of skin and she's not covered properly, they have what is called negative stereotyping, which means that they would say, this woman is showing a lot of skin, she has not covered her body properly, her character would be loose, she would be very easygoing, and so on and so forth. Or in some societies where, if they see a woman smoking, or if they see a woman drinking alcohol, they would immediately stereotype that women negatively, saying that, the woman is easygoing, she does not have any moral values, and so on and so forth. So negative stereotyping is another feature of moral conflict, because certain people who negatively stereotype the others, their opinion is different from other groups who do not necessarily stereotype negatively on how a woman behaves in a certain situation. So there is a lot of moral conflict which takes place between groups who negatively stereotype women because of the certain ways in which she dresses, or because she drinks or smoke, but other groups may disagree and they may not negatively stereotype that particular woman. So a lot of moral conflict takes place because groups sees women differently in terms of how they dress or how they behave, and so a lot of conflict takes place between groups on how they see women differently. Then we have what is called another feature of moral conflict, which is called non-negotiability. What is non-negotiability? In case of non-negotiability, the ideological beliefs disallows the different groups to reach a common consensus. The groups may even get to the point that the goal of harming the other becomes more important than helping oneself. This is observed between, especially the failure of dialogue between government and the different terrorist organizations. So, government may not negotiate with a terrorist group. And when they do not negotiate with the terrorist group, they are exposing a lot of harm to the hostages which the terrorist group may have captured, and because the government do not want to negotiate with the terrorist group, the terrorists may resort to killing the hostages which they have captured. So this is another feature of moral conflict, which is called non-negotiability. There are certain ideological beliefs which differs a group from the other. Ideology, which means in terms of how they expect the other group to toe the line in terms of how they behave, in terms of the food habits, in terms of how they socialize with others, and so on and so forth. I have also given you the example of how government may not negotiate with a terrorist group in spite of the terrorist group taking certain hostages, and the government do not negotiate with a terrorist group, and it may lead to the terrorist group killing those hostages. So this is called non-negotiability, because the government does not believe in negotiating with the terrorist group. So these are some of the features of moral conflicts. So how do we deal with moral conflicts? Because when you have conflicting moral values, when you have groups who are radically opposed to each other in terms of the ideas about morality, it is very important to deal with these moral conflicts. So how do you deal with these moral conflicts? First, changing the stories. One way in which people can change the pattern of conflict is by telling different stories about what they are doing. By using narratives and storytelling to communicate, they can enrich the views that each side has about the other, often revealing commonalities in the midst of all the differences. For example, we see at times a lot of problem which emerges between India and Pakistan. However, if we can come to a common level wherein we talk about our shared history, we talk about how we had fought together for the independence of our countries, how we can talk about how much we love cricket, how much we adore the cricketers. So all these are ways by which you can use storytellings, or you can use narratives to enrich the views that there are certain common grounds, or there are certain commonalities which each group has, and by using this common ground or common playing level, you can deal with moral conflicts. Then reframing. Another way to deal with moral conflict is reframing. Third parties can sometimes help the disputants to redefine or reframe their conflict, focusing more on attainable interests and less on non-negotiable position or negative stereotypes. They can also help parties to seek mutually beneficial outcomes rather than competitive or having what is called win-lose outcomes. So when we talk about reframing, another way of dealing with moral conflict would be reframing. That is, you reframe the conflict, you help the individuals or the groups who are in dispute with each other to focus more on attainable interests, focusing more on compromising, wherein both of the parties do not win or lose, but both of them are in a win-win situation. So this is called reframing. Then another very important way to deal with moral conflict is dialogue. Similar to storytelling, dialogue is a process of in-depth communication that allows parties to get to know each other and to find commonalities with the other side. It has been observed that due to the efforts of constant dialogues, that political differences among nations have lessened in the global arena in constructive manner. They have thereby found a way to manage the conflicts. The wars which have taken place, the First World War, the Second World War. After the First and the Second World War, we did not have any full-fledged war. This is because there has been a lot of dialogue which has been successful between countries. They have come to a common table wherein they have sought out their differences by talking to each other through dialogue, and because of which it has prevented a third full-fledged war from happening. So dialogue is a very important process in terms of the process wherein that allows parties to get to know each other better and to find common ground with each other. So this is another way to reduce or a solution to moral conflict. After talking about the various ways to reduce moral conflict, let us talk about value conflict. When we talk about value and moral conflict, it is very important to know what is moral, what are values, what do we mean by morals and values. The difference between morals and values is that morals are the learned characteristic of any individual under the influence of society and surroundings, whereas values are the set of principles that are inherent in an individual and motivates him or her to work better. Let me repeat, dear learners. When we talk about morals, when we talk about moral conflict, when we talk about values or value conflict, it is very important to know the difference between morals and values. What are morals? Morals are the learned characteristic of any individual under the influence of society and surroundings. For example, your parents teaches you certain moral values. Your parents teaches you. Your parents teach you how to talk to the elders, how to respect the elders, and so on and so forth. Whereas values are the set of principles that are inherent in an individual and motivates him or her to work better. For example, honesty is a value. Punctuality is a value. So these are the differences between morals and values. So we have talked about moral values. Now let us talk about moral conflict. We have talked about, I have given you the differences, talked about the differences between morals and values. I have also discussed what is moral conflict. Now let me very briefly touch upon value conflict. Value conflict refers to conflict or disagreement in values. Every society is divided on the basis of its stratification. There are several layers of strata in the society. We are distinguished from one another on basis of caste, class, religion, cultural background, and physical features like skin and hair color. In no society do all such groups live together in a completely harmonious and equal sharing social rewards. So, value conflict refers to conflict or disagreement in values. For example, certain people may not agree with your punctuality, your honesty. They may feel that, you are trying to please your boss or your superior. So, this is what is called moral conflict. And when we talk about conflict, when we talk about why people are in conflict with each other, it is mainly to achieve three scarce social resources of the society, which are money, power, prestige. So when a man is very competitive by nature, and when a man wants to gain power, when a man wants to gain prestige in his life, or when he wants to have a lot of money, this is the time when there is a lot of conflict which takes place. It may be conflict in terms of the values that he has, or it may be because of these issues like these scarce resources, money, power, prestige. Then a lot of moral conflicts may also take place. So in this particular session, dear learners, we have discussed moral conflicts. We have discussed value conflict. I have discussed the difference between morals and values. And with this class, I have completed week 7 of BEDS 002, wherein I talked about levels, forms, and reasons of conflict. I have talked about how to manage conflict, conflict management, and I have talked about moral conflict and value conflict. I hope you have enjoyed these sessions. Thank you so much.